Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, desolators, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks, people who are scared of Russia. I'm a Useful Idiot. Welcome. And let's go to Russia today. I saw this story that seemed pretty dramatic at first, but it's getting a little diffused, and that's the idea that Putin is creating this huge new National Guard in order to, quote, fight terrorism and maintain public order, unquote. And that's by Putin's own words. And it's going to be Interior Ministry troops, and the agencies for drug control and federal migration are going to be rolled into it as well. So it looks like they're creating a new force that's going to be like a lot of agencies we already have in the United States that are going to be paramilitary, semi-police, and semi-soldiers involved in drug control and immigration issues besides maintaining public order. And no surprise, the new National Guard, as it's being called, is going to be led by Putin's former bodyguard, who also has a background in the KGB. And other than that, it's fairly nondescript. There's not that much material on him out there. And but the bodyguard, who's going to be the head of this new National Guard, is on the Russian Security Council, so he will answer directly to Putin and not necessarily to the Russian military. So there's been a lot of speculation about what Putin has in mind for this new force. One observer said it was, quote, a step towards a police state, unquote. And I'm sure many Westerners find that laughable because they already assume that Russia is the very model of what a police state looks like. But that's relative, of course, and if we look around the world today and in the United States, what constitutes a police force, or a police state. And anyway, one of the things that's a little more insidious about this new organization is supposedly there's proposed powers that they will have the right to shoot or use force without warning and enter private premises freely, and also make arrests on the street. So once again, very comparable to certain organizations and law enforcement agencies and the police force that we have in the United States. And it hasn't really been established that those powers will be given. And the other thing that's up in the air about this is apparently there's no reporting on exactly how many troops are involved, and in speculation anywhere from 200,000 to 400,000, including tanks, artillery, and helicopters. And if this all turns out to be true, this will be an interesting addition to the structure in Russia, and more consolidation of Putin's power. And some people characterize it perhaps a private army to protect Putin. But then after a little more digging, it sounds like a lot of these details might be a little overblown, because I found a July 2015 article that talked about the fact that Putin already ordered this so-called National Guard back in 2012. So it's been on the books for 4 years. And at the time, the article was speculating that this new reserve or National Guard would only be 5,000, not 200,000 and not 400,000. But so if it turns out to be 5,000, obviously we don't have anything to be concerned about. If it's 300,000 to 400,000, then it becomes something else altogether. But it also makes more sense that it would be 5,000 compared to 400,000, because Russia already has 2.5 million reserves and 766,000 active military personnel. So it's not like they're suffering for reserves right now. And in fact, looking at the details a little more, it turns out these are this new National Guard, at least according to July 2015, was going to be part-time personnel paid monthly with regular training. And so hardly a bunch of jackboots in the street to crush the Russian public. But somewhere the truth lies in between. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any more developments on this story. I'll be curious. But right now, it looks like it's fairly anticlimactic in that this new Russian National Guard is just more augmentation for the security apparatus in Russia, and legitimate claims of public order and fighting terrorism. Certainly a mantra in the United States as well. I'm a Useful Idiot. Don't you be one too.